So in this video we're going to look at how you include images on your website or web page. So to start with, it's important to set yourself up with a sensible folder for exercise 2 like this. So all small letters, no spaces, no capital letters, and in this folder you need to find an image that you can use. So I've got one, DE_avatar. Again, very important, no spaces, no capital letters in your file names. So this can be a JPEG, JPG image or a PNG image, it doesn't matter. So just grab one of those that you have the copyright for, or you have the ability to use because it's freely available. And then start Notepad++, and the key point about how we're going to operate here is that what we don't want to do is start with a blank page in Notepad++ for exercise 2. What we want to do is take our existing index.html page from exercise 1 and save this, so save as, and save it in the EXO2 folder. So if I do that, that means that I'm not going to make typing mistakes trying to type out these lines. So if exercise 1 index.html is correct, then we're confident that we'll be correct in exercise 2. So let us change the title. So for example, using images might be a sensible title, and then in here we can change the H1 heading to adding images, and what I'm going to do is change the words to here is my avatar. And one of the key things about HTML is that you can adjust the content in how it looks in Notepad++ without affecting how it looks on the HTML page in the browser. So the browser just looks for the tags to understand how to render or deliver your page. So to make this a bit clearer, I'm going to put my image in here, and I've just slightly adjusted how this stuff gets displayed. So I'm going to use the image tag, so img for the image tag, and then we're going to have an attribute equals value scheme. So the attribute in this first case is src for source, and that is going to tell me or tell the browser, that's going to tell the browser where the image actually is located, what's the source of the image. So my image is called DE_avatar. So I can either type that in, or often a safer way of doing this to just stop me making spelling mistakes is actually to copy and paste the file name from the Explorer tool and paste it in here, and that saves me making typing mistakes which will cause my scheme to stop working. So here we go, we've got source equals and the file name, so attribute in red equals value in purple, and then we're going to do the same thing again. So we need some alternative text, so this is a brief description of my image for people who for whatever reason are not able to view that image. And this is an essential requirement to meet HTML recommendations and web accessibility recommendations. So we're going to have these two things, attribute equals value, and you can see a color scheme going on here. It's the same color scheme as up here, attribute equals value. So it's important to get your eye in so that if your color scheme isn't working properly, you spot it and can correct the error. And we're just going to end this with a special sort of end tag. Because there isn't any content to add explicitly, then we can pop that end tag in as sort of combined scheme with the initial tag. So that is how I'm going to add my image, and this relies on the image being available in the same folder as my HTML page. So you can see that I've got my index page here and the image is in the same folder. If that's the case, then all I need to do is specify the image file name. So once I've done that, I can save it, check it out in my browser, and once this pops up, you can see that there's my image and here's my text. So that's all fairly straightforward. And if I decide to do something a bit more sophisticated, so if I decide, for example, to make a new folder called media, and I decide to put all my media, my images, for example, into that folder, then once I've done that, then the browser is going to stop working because it can no longer find my image in the same folder as the HTML page because I've just moved it, and so I get my alternative text plus this broken icon here. So what I basically need to do now is go back here and say, well, actually I'm going to start looking for the image in the same folder that my index page, my HTML page, is actually sitting in. So I need to tell the system how to find my image. So I need to say to it, from where you're currently located, look in the media folder and then find the image that is called de-avatar.jpg. So once I save that, I go back to my browser and refresh my browser, then my image appears because I can now correctly go to it in the browser. The final thing that I can do if I want to is I can move this media folder. So currently the media folder is inside the EXO2 folder. Let's suppose that I want to cut it out of there and put the media folder in this location here in my demos folder, so that every file in all of these exercise folders can use the same media content. So of course now when I go back to my browser, it doesn't work anymore because it's no longer finding the correct path to the image. So what I want to do now is in here, the way that I need to find my image is, if we look at my folder structure over here, then I'm currently sitting in this folder. In my index.html page, I need to move up one folder to get myself in the demo folder. Once I'm in the demo folder, I need to then go down to the media folder. Once I'm in the media folder, I need to find my de_avatar image. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use ... to go up one folder, then look for the media folder, then look for the file inside the media folder. So once I've done that, we then, if I refresh this, we then again have a working image scheme.